Guys, it's an exciting day just before What Wednesdays starts. Our cleavers are back in stock. Click the card above to see where you can buy them. Hey guys, welcome back to What Wednesdays. It is a What Wednesday. We're doing some steamed tofu with pickled green chili. Now you can buy jars of pickled green and red chilies, which is okay, but for a quick dinner, but this is a really quick dish anyway. And I find that those Chinese jars of pickled chilies have always got MSG in them and quite a lot of it. So fresh pickled chili is actually very easy to make. So I'm just cutting these in half so that when I get the salt and the vinegar into it, it can sort of wrap around every bit of chili. Finally slice that. Now I'm doing a very quick pickle here with some rice vinegar, salt, sugar. I'm going to add a little bit of Sichuan peppercorn and some star anise to it as well. And really you want to leave it for sort of at least 2 to 3 hours before you start digging into it. So those straight into a bowl. Well, if you're going to keep this, you can go straight into a jar, pop it in the fridge, and it'll just get more and more tasty over time. So a good sort of rough teaspoon of salt, similar amount of sugar, well measured, and then cover that with rice vinegar. Melt that salt and sugar in. Then I've got some whole star anise and whole Sichuan peppercorns here. Not 100% essential, but they will impart flavour over time. Later on, when I actually use the pickled chilies, I'll pick out the actual chili and not put all those sort of tough spices over the steamed tofu. A really, really simple pickle that. Let that sit aside. Don't touch your eyes, don't touch anywhere else. I've got my glasses, so I'm fine. So next I'm going to make a quick ginger and spring onion and garlic oil, which I'll sear and then place over the top of the steamed tofu just when I'm finishing off the dish. It's one of those really, really quick, simple dishes to cook. Weeknight dinner, you know, where you want to sort of make something quickly but still have that punch of flavour. Ginger, garlic, and then a good bit of chopped spring onion. Be really generous with this spring onion mix. You know, all the flavour is just coming from this dressing, essentially. And that's what tofu is great for, is sort of soaking up flavour, whether it's silken tofu, which is what I'm using here, or fresh tofu. If you just ate it by itself, it wouldn't taste of anything really, but it's all about the sauce and soaking up the flavour. Kind of acts like a sponge. So that just needs some hot oil seared onto it. I'm actually going to add some chili oil to this as well, and that's more for colour, but also to work with the pickled chili. It's really nice and spicy, this dish. Next, your tofu. Now when you're working with silken tofu, it can be very, very delicate, so it's worth cutting both ends just to get a bit of air into there. Just carefully open up the packet. You don't want to break this because part of this is the sort of aesthetics of serving it as it cooks in the steamer. Just go very careful. So I've got my tofu. It's broken slightly in the middle, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to slice into this in nice thin slices, And I'm just using my length of my finger just to keep it as intact as possible. Then when I move this, again the cleaver is very helpful for this, straight underneath and into my bowl. The rest of this is really super easy. We're going to go straight into the steam basket and steam that, as with a lot of things in Chinese tradition, for 8 minutes. So the tofu, it's got that liquid from all the cooking. Keep that warm. I'm going to sear this with hot oil in a second. I'm just going to sift out some of those Sichuan peppercorns so I don't get a load of those. Smoking hot oil to go over the spring onion, ginger. Kind of like making your steamed fish where you're searing that spring onion just at the end. So once that wok is completely smoking all the way through, then that oil goes straight over the top. I'm going to take a good load of this pickled chili as well. Mix that pickled chili into that oil. And then some of the pickling juice will also add flavour. So a couple of tablespoons of that. Lastly, about a tablespoon of light soy. And then it's as simple as dressing this right over the top, and that seared ginger oil just sits beautifully over the top of that liquid from the tofu. You want to use all of this, make it really flavourful. And look at that colour. Whether you're a tofu fan or not, I guarantee this is worth trying. Now, don't get me wrong, this will be very spicy by itself, but with a little bit of steamed rice would be fantastic. And actually, the chilies, the heat from the chilies should be a little bit less strong because of the pickling and the salting. Really good. That's intense flavour, but you definitely get an initial hit of the sweetness of the chili before you get the heat. And that heat's starting to build now. Oh, delicious. Guys, if you like simple recipes like this, or you like any type of Asian cuisine, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like.